So, Lonnie Jackson here back again. And what is your name?
Richard Tisdel.
Okay, spell it for me, please.
RICHARDTISDEL.
Okay, so that when I do the editing on this, I can print it out correctly.
Oh.
On the name.
Yeah, we noticed some of the stuff in the old documentation was wrong on my name, but just 2 L's and stuff like that.
Yes, and it's important to get it right. Yes, I agree. So, what year did you come to the ranch?
The very last 2 days of 1979.
Okay, yep, 1979, the end of December.
Yeah, just after Christmas of 79.
Yeah. And how long were you here?
I was here until June of 1983 when I graduated high school.
Okay, so 3.5 years?
Yeah.
2.5 years?
Three and a half, yeah.
Okay, so you were a teenager when you got here.
Yeah, I was 14.
And did you have any brothers that came with you?
No.
No, it was just you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you don't have to go into details. Curious though, okay, so we graduated the same year.
Yeah. 83.
Yeah. Were you in foster care, in the foster care system before you came to the ranch?
No.
Or no?
No, I was, my issues was that I was a troubled child and parents lost control.
Oh, okay.
And they
couldn't control you.
Yes, and they were searching for some way to work out really to save my life, because I was into drugs and into deep things that were getting me in a lot of trouble, and as well as could have gotten me killed. So
okay,
that was their mindset, and they were probably more than right.
Right.
Yeah. So
okay. So while you were here for those 2.5 years, did you? What do you think about what you learned here?
I think at this point in my life, the most important thing I learned was that the seed of the gospel of Jesus Christ was planted in my heart. That was by far, I mean, there's nothing second to that, of course. And at and during the time I was here, I was able to get a balance and understanding in life, and begin to back off from all the troublesome things that were about to kill me or could have killed me.
So them sending you here saved your life? Absolutely.
Unequivocally, yes.
All right, Rodeheaver Boys Ranch. That is definitely a great way to change your life and give you benefits while you're here.
Absolutely.
Straightened you out. Work ethic.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely. Oh yeah. So something that I had no inkling of
beforehand.
Nothing. Working was not on the radar. Definitely not. So yes, but yes, that was a little bit of a culture shock for me.
Oh, I'm sure, because now where did you come here from?
Jacksonville, Florida.
From Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Okay, from the city or suburban?
More suburban than, not inner city, but
okay.
Yeah, more.
So you still had a concrete jungle.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, so you went from that to, we're on a 790-acre ranch in the middle of nowhere, just off of Highway 19, at the intersection of the Barge Canal and St. Johns River, south of Palatka.
Yes.
Man, they put you in the woods.
Yeah, and a culture shock.
That's a big difference coming from Jacksonville
country
to here.
living.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, definitely.
Culture shock. Yeah. But it was the best thing that could have happened to you.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I mean, I can't say that me being able to say absolutely and unequivocally yes, all of that didn't come at that time. I had to grow up.
You had to learn from it.
I had to grow up and learn
Yes.
what life really is. And
yes.
So yeah, but at that time I was still wanting to play. I'm sure you can remember. You've seen me here, and you saw I was still trying to play games.
You know, at the time that we were here, when you had like 40, 50 kids, all out here in the middle of nowhere, across 4 cottages, houses, with one set of parents, cottage parents, who it was their job that they applied for, to be parents out here and have 10, 12 kids in each house that they were responsible for.
Yes.
That's, and then, you're thrown in and you got your issues. Everyone has their issues, and everyone come from a different background.
Yep.
But we all were thrown in here together. And you came here by yourself. Suddenly, you've got 40 some odd brothers that you didn't know about, right?
Yeah. That was an adjustment, to say the least.
Adjustment. Now you have to share.
Yeah.
But you don't want to share. You never had to share before.
Yeah.
But you do now. Well, you did then. So
yeah, it was definitely an adjustment.
That was an adjustment. But it was a good one.
Yeah. There's 2 sides to that too. The balance I was talking about.
Yes.
I saw different people handling this place, and we were all handling because there was a line and there was a set of rules.
Yes.
And that line,
very disciplined.
Crossing the line meant crossing the rules. And so seeing how people maneuvered and handled and adjusted their lives to it helped me adjust my life to it. And so there is 2 sides to the feeling the crowding of others and having that, but that crowding of others of their way of handling things was also a help to me to see where I needed to be.
Right.
Even though my thinking was not necessarily to always not cross the line. So there is that.
I think we all got into trouble while we were here. I know I did.
I did.
And I don't know the name of a kid that was here that did not get into trouble some way, shape, form, or whatever. And if there was one, good for him. But
I didn't see him. Some more than others, but I didn't see anyone that didn't have some level of correction needed.
Yes, yes.
So yeah, certainly, we were all, the age group that I was here was down to about 8 years old up to 17. So that age group right there, you're going to have a problem with every single one.
Yeah. Now you've got little brothers that, you never knew you had, and just everything that we came from all mingled into one.
Yep.
It was quite the adjustment. But it was great that we were placed in a facility that had the ability to take care of us and made such a positive change on us. Now, we know there were instances, like I said, not everyone stayed out of trouble. And there was some that was very serious trouble that we're not going to talk about. But from the smallest thing to the very big ones, it was a definite wide range. But there's so many kids there was 75 years ago. 1950 to 2025, 75 years this place has been here.
Yeah. Wow.
The number of kids who's come through here in those years, I don't even know if anyone knows the number, but it's a bunch.
It's a pretty big number. Yeah.
So it straightened you out. And when you left here, and you were out on your own, ready to start your own life, your own family. I think I already know the answer to this, but did it help you set up for success or failure starting your own family?
I'll say this. I have regrets that I didn't allow what I learned here to help me initially. In the outset, because I chose to, when I left, I was like, man, it's party time.
I'm out of here.
Yeah, I'm going to do my thing now. And so I did that for a time. And I'm going to say a time and times, because I drew back and went back. But there was a point, and unfortunately it was, I'm going to say about 15 years after leaving here, maybe 16.
Right.
Yeah, probably 17 or 18.
Right around
somewhere in my
2000.
Yeah, 2002 to be exact. And this is where I can't take control. I'm not in control, and I cried out to God, and like the Bible says, He heard my cry. And all I'm going to say is He literally. I don't know what He did in my heart, but I can only picture it like this, because I need a picture.
Right.
As He plucked me out of it and plucked it all out of my heart, the desires for what I was living. And that time, at that point, it changed my life.
Right.
But it was the seed of what was learned and planted here. It was all of it, because that's why I come back here. I want to come back. I want to see this place, because I've drawn back to where I'm living and what I'm living in.
Right.
That's the best way I can put it. I'm not the most articulate, but
you don't have to be articulate.
Yeah,
that's okay. We all come from different backgrounds. We all have different outcomes when we left here. Some went to college and still dumb as a box of rocks. It doesn't matter. None of us have to be perfect. And
we're probably not ever going to be perfect until
I don't know that there is anyone out there who is perfect.
No.
And
Certainly not.
I've got a lot of friends, and I don't know one that's perfect.
And I don't either.
Yeah. So looking back on it, it jumped back at you and said, hey, wake up.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
You woke up with a whole new picture of what you needed to do. And that's what you did.
Yeah.
And it straightened you right up.
Yeah, and, of course, here again, even in that state of striving, because life we strive in life. But in that state of striving, I've bumped my head and I've piddled off the path here and there. But the general direction has always been where God wants me. Where I only attribute. I can't take any credit for it. I only say the Lord, even to have the knowledge that I learned here. He gave me this. He gave me. He pursued me.
Right.
I didn't try to straighten myself out. I tried to mess myself up every time.
Do you think, now I know this is a long time ago, do you believe that, or can remember maybe one person, staff member, that helped you the most?